Okay, I'd like to call this special Cleveland Heights City Council meeting to order. It's Thursday, March 26th at 5:23. I'll call the roll. I'll start with Sarah Stone.
Here.
Joe DeWitt Foy.
Here.
I'm here. Jessica Cohen.
Here.
Craig Cobb.
Here.
Gail Larson.
Here.
Jim Posh.
Here.
And Tony Kuda is here. We have one order of business, and then we're going to go into executive session. That order of business is legislation on first reading. Let me put my glasses on. This is ordinance 66-2026, first reading, an ordinance, and this is for adoption, an ordinance making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Cleveland Heights, Ohio during the year ending December 31st, 2026, and declaring an emergency. And this is introduced by Mayor Petras.
Mr. President, it should be ordinance 65, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. And I had my glasses on.
No problem.
Thank you for that correction. Mayor or the... Okay, state your name and your position, please.
Brian Anderson, Assistant Director of Economic Development. Just to clarify what this is for and why we're doing this, this relates to the incentive package and agreements approved by council back in October of last year for the Park Synagogue project. One being a $750,000 grant and a $750,000 loan to help facilitate and support that project, both publicly available walking paths and trails, as well as additional funding to help in their capital stack for that project. And originally, when this was approved, if you recall, there was a heavy emphasis on getting the agreement approved by council so that they could close last year. And I think our intention would have been to have made this amendment last year when the agreement was supposed to be closed. That didn't happen. They pushed it back to now. So they have now lined up their financial closing, and per the terms of the agreements, they need our funds at closing for them to be able to proceed with this. So it's a positive sign that, they, after a little bit of a delay, they are ready to go. After, again, just a little bit of a delay, and we would have liked to have seen this happen last year and not be having this discussion now, but we're here and it's a positive sign. So.
All right, any questions from council? Go ahead.
I have two questions for Director Brzezinski. You did tell us which funds, I asked you which funds that would be used, and you said that we'd be coming on as the legislation states, and the legislation doesn't state what it's for, by the way. I find that kind of odd that it doesn't say to finance Park Synagogue, but okay. I'm assuming what I understood was this was not budgeted, so it would be coming from unencumbered funds. Is that right, or am I misled?
Well, correct. And to answer your first question, the reason it doesn't say the project, because this is a change in appropriations.
Okay.
So all it's doing is elevating the appropriations that council's allowing to be spent out of the capital projects fund as well as the general fund.
Okay, but it is unencumbered funds, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we will see a change in the report for March 31 of the unencumbered General
Correct.
101 fund.
Correct.
By a reduction of $750,000, and same for the other account. And it is an amendment to the appropriations for 2026, right?
Correct.
So it will have to be approved by the county auditor?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
You guys are the important ones. You're the ones that count.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to comment on is I hope that somehow we set up a process as council approves a project like this going forward, that something goes to finance or something gets set up so that it's included in the budget of the specific department, because this is really disconcerting to me. So if there's a process that we can put in place with approved legislation for large projects, I'd really appreciate it.
It's in progress. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Any other questions from council? Okay, just to remind people, the terms were 30, for the $750,000 loan, it was 30 years, correct? Okay. And then my recollection was also it was a 2% the first 10 years were interest only, I believe.
It is a 30-year term. 2%.
He has to have them, otherwise it won't be.
Only, and then amortized for the balance as you see.
Thank you, Counselor.
President Kuda,
Yes.
can he repeat that into microphone? Because I don't believe that would be captured on the
Oh,
recording with him.
I could handle that. It's a 30-year total loan. The terms are for the first 10 years, it's 2% interest only. And then for the remaining 20 years, it'll be with the interest and principal for the remaining 20 years.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Any other discussion on the legislation? Then I'll take a motion to. All right,
I will second.
all right, any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Can I get a motion to go into executive session now?
Yes.
Thank you.
I will motion that we go into executive session to consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, production techniques, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance, or to negotiations with other political subdivisions respecting requests for economic development assistance as necessary to protect the interests of the applicant or the possible investment or expenditure of public funds to be made in accordance with the economic development project.
Do we have a second? All right, any discussion? So I'm going to do a roll call for going into executive session. Councilwoman Stone?
Yes.
Councilman DeWitt Foy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cohen?
Aye.
Councilman Cobb?
Aye.
Vice President Larson?
Aye.
Councilman Posh?
Yes.
And Tony Kuda votes yes. We are going into executive session at 5:31. When we come out, we will not be conducting any other business. We are now going into executive session. Okay, we are out of executive session, and I'm going to adjourn this meeting at 7:15. Our next meeting is April 6th.